It's like Christian said. Stand up. Say something if it's safe to say out loud. Or at least walk away so that you're not feeding into that bullying. Now,
we're here to send a message to the kids that even though they're only in 6th grade, that choices start now, and that good choices start a better path to success than poorer choices that when you're in 6th grade you may think are inconsequential, but they can have a significant impact because, as you know, everything snowballs.
Don't get sucked into it. Stay out of it. The path to ganghood is not a path to success. I can tell you from what I do, and I was a defense attorney for years too, which means for the first few years I got people out of jail. Now I put them in jail.
The message is pretty basic. The message is just think. A lot of times today we don't think about the consequences of our actions, and because technology is so much around us in everyday life, and especially at this younger age, that they have so much more than what we were faced with when we were young, that they need to think about the consequences of what they send, when they send it. It can have far-reaching impacts, and like I had stated to the kids, and a lot of kids didn't realize it, that information's out there forever. That once it's in cyberspace, it's out there. So we'd like them to just stop for a second before they hit that send button, think about what they're sending, and would they be proud of it? And are they happy about the thoughts that they're relaying? And maybe if you can just stop a few erroneous texts, then there'll be a lot less bullying, a lot less violence, because I've seen it in criminal investigations where stabbings, shootings, murders even, start because of a Facebook post, because of a text, and the kids need to know that these things can escalate.
Name is Thomas Quinn, First Assistant District Attorney. I was here on behalf of the District Attorney, welcoming the students in the U.S. Attorney's Office to the program. Just trying to shed on the importance of them, especially being in the 6th grade, making the right choices in life so they can lead productive lives. I think the goal of the program is to reach some of these youngsters, all of them, at a young age, 6th grade, and try to impress upon them the importance of staying away from making poor choices that could affect them for the rest of their lives, and planting a seed so as when things get difficult they can have people to turn to and never think that they're too far gone to be helped.
The crowd was fabulous. I mean, I've never seen a bunch of better behaved kids. I think they paid attention the entire time. I think they took something away from it. And I think I need to credit Principal Sykes and his entire staff for the attitude of these kids. And as well, the attitude starts at home, so I'd commend the parents as well.
Well, they had asked a lot of questions. I think the kids, which is good, as opposed to nobody raising their hands. I think they probably could have asked a lot more questions too, if time permitted. So I think it's the future. I think the goal is to get even to people a little younger now, and try to convey these messages. They have a lot more things that can tempt them, so to speak, with the social media that can have significant consequences. and the bullying appears to be a lot more serious than it used to be. And as you heard somebody say, that can have a very serious psychological effect on people.
Time was short. So far, I've only had a chance to see a couple of the kids, and the response has been great. One kid said, "Wow, those pictures that we send are out there forever." So just reaching that one kid who's going to tell two friends, and it's the old shampoo commercial. So on and so on and so on, and the message will get out that these pictures, no matter what they are, good, bad, or indifferent, they're out there. Put it up. Because a lot of times these kids don't know that, one, it's out there in cyberspace, and two, even after it's deleted from somebody's phone, it's still out there, and it's actually still on their phones in many cases. Exactly, whether or not it be a computer, whether or not it be a phone, whether or not it be a tablet, even though you hit that delete button, it is still there and still recoverable with the right equipment.
I think our goals, the District Attorney's Office and the U.S. Attorney, is to get to people so they don't get and use as an example the potential prosecution of people if they make the wrong decisions, and to try to have them give them the information or the decision-making power not to make decisions that can hurt them for their entire life. But at the same time, to know that people are going to trip up and that they have a lot of support there in the school system to turn to them, and that nobody really is too far gone to be helped if they want to be helped.
The first time ever, when he stood up at that podium and he talked to them about being bullied on that first day, he said, "You know what? I have my friend to thank, because I was thinking about ending it all when I went home that day, because I was bullied so badly." So when you take these actions, when you do anything, think about it. And even if you're not being the one doing the talking or doing the pushing, bullies need what? An audience. Don't be the audience, like Christian said. Stand up. Say something if it's safe to say it. Go get an adult to help out. Or at least walk away so that you're not feeding into that bullying.
If you can lessen any of the three, whether it be one, two, or all three of those issues, then I think you are kind of, to steal a line from George Bush, it's a kinder, gentler world at that point in time. If you can just diminish some of the unthoughtful actions, no matter what the basis of it being, bullying, sexting, or texting. Well, hopefully the future is bright. Hopefully the kids take one or two things from this. Hopefully when one of them sends a text this afternoon, they do stop and they think about it before they hit the send button. And once you reach them, once they start that thought process, all the rest, all the other incidentals, that will come with time. But so long as they start with the small choices, the small decisions, they'll ultimately lead to bigger decisions and better decisions.
I was very impressed. Very impressed. I think it's important. I think the U.S. Attorney taking the time to come down here and speak is significant, along with the District Attorney's Office and the school, the mayor and the school officials. So I was quite impressed with it, and I hope it can have, if a little seed is planted with someone, then it will be have an impact.
I think the message would be different for different schools. Today we're dealing with 6th graders, so I think the message is a little bit more simplistic than it would be had we been dealing with high schoolers, and especially in this urban area of the country compared to whether or not we were in the backwoods of Oklahoma or the plains of Oklahoma or something to that extent. I think this audience, I think these kids, the message needed to be simple but stern, that small choices lead to significant consequences in their future, whether it be dealing with their freedom, whether it be dealing with their education or future jobs.
But just remember too, one thing I want to touch on, and like Christian said, he learned from his brothers, I thought this was what I was supposed to do. And neighborhoods today, you have your neighborhood gangs, everybody's wearing their colors, and that's a cool thing to do. Don't get sucked into it. Stay out of it. The path to ganghood is not a path to success. I can tell you from what I do, and I was a defense attorney for years too, which means for the first few years I got people out of jail. Now I put them in jail. Never did I see a successful gangbanger, ever. It's a certain path to failure. Could be a path to a lack of freedom, meaning end up in jail, either through our office, the U.S. Attorney's office, or what's worse, it's a path to a lack of life. Kids, this is no video game. You don't get extra lives. Once you're on the wrong side of the dirt, it's permanent. You don't come back. So it all starts with good choices. Make those good choices start today. Now, like Christian said, like the mayor said, all of your choices don't lead to success. You're going to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. Abraham Lincoln, we all know him years ago. He's almost as old as me. He failed thousands of times before he became president. So think about that. But just don't quit. Failure hurts, failure is painful, but pain is temporary. Quitting lasts forever. So kids, make your choices, start now, and you'll be on a great path to success. Thank you.
The best tip I can give is, like the saying goes, stop, think, and send. Or in the area of sexting, if you take those pictures, stop, think, and delete.
Did you know that students with learning or physical disabilities are 65% more likely to be bullied than their peers?
When bullying behavior crosses the line and becomes disability harassment, it's against the law. Harassment can include verbal, written, and physical threats.
If you're being bullied, remember, it's not your fault. It's important to tell someone like your parent or a teacher if you're being bullied, because bullying affects everybody.
If you see bullying but don't know what to do or don't feel safe stepping in, there are things that you can still do to help.
Tell an adult about it.
Be kind to the person being bullied at another time.
Talk with them and spend time with them.
For more information on what you can do to stop bullying, go to www.stopbullying.gov.
Take a stand, lend a hand, stop bullying now.
This public service announcement was brought to you by the Butterfly Project, a City of New Bedford's Invest in Kids program, the Women's Fund, and the Community Foundation of Southeastern Massachusetts.